It's big. It's big, especially when you go in the stadium. There's something about walking to that stadium and, playing between those lines, and we're establishing a tradition with that team that we're going to take care of home. We're going to take care of home, and that's what we want to make sure that they understand that. Obviously, having 8 home games is a big advantage, and we want to make sure that it becomes that. And our allegiance to our fans and to the traditions that have been here before is huge. And we talk about it to those kids every day. We want them to understand that Auburn was big way before you got here, and we just want to continue that tradition that was here in the past. It's really nice because before, the drop-off between the first and second team was too far. You had no chance. Now we've got guys where there's not a major drop-off in talent or speed when you bring the next guy in. Experience is there, and the other one's lacking it. But that'll come. That'll come with games. But it's a little tough on the younger guys because they want to go and get the reps they were getting in divided practices. When you got the split practice, they got more reps now. They're coming from mental reps, and their window's closing because now when you're out there, you only got 2 plays to prove yourself as opposed to having 6. And again, that in itself puts pressure on the kid to give you his best. And like I said, if they can't handle that, you're not going to put them in front of 90,000 in a game if they can't handle that type of pressure. So it's been good to have the lines. The older guys appreciate it, I promise you that, because they understand. We're going to find out what they're made of. The number of reps and the positions that we're going to put them in, and we talk about stressing them and putting strain on them. They're going to be strained and stressed tomorrow, and we're going to see who's going to react. It was good to hear those guys at the end of practice breaking down and say, look, guys, tomorrow's just like a game. Tomorrow's going to be like a game because we're going to be in the stadium. And when you hear them saying it and talking about it as they're walking off the field, that makes you feel good as a coach. Because normally when practice is over, they're thinking about Xbox or PlayStation or what NFL team is playing tonight or what their girlfriends or Facebook or whatever. Anything but football. But these guys are talking football.
I just want to see the guys play hard. What I tried to warn the young guys about, and not necessarily just the freshmen, but the guys who haven't had a lot of playing time, often they'll get into a scrimmage situation, particularly if we go over to the stadium, and they'll think they got to be Superman, and before you know it, they can't remember their plays, and they're out of control, and they're not playing with technique at all. And so what I tried to stress to them tonight is, hey, it's just an opportunity to have another practice. You get to play harder longer because we'll actually let the whistle go until the guy gets tackled. So that's positive, is we'll get to see how much effort and how much toughness some guys have, and we'll get to see how guys respond when we get over there in a live situation. It's not a bad thing because while they're competing, you're actually developing depth. So I think those guys will all be better for having had this experience regardless of who ends up as a starter.
If you get more than one guy and they're relatively close at the end of camp, have you ever had a situation where you play more than one, or do you like to have one starter who plays virtually all the time?
If I've got 2 guys that are about the same, I got no problem rotating. I've had a couple of situations like that where I've had one guy who was just as good or just so close to the other guy that he deserved to play and was willing to rotate him. It doesn't happen often because usually somebody ends up winning the job and develops confidence. But if that's the situation, sure, we can play more than one guy. Ask them after they did all the meltdowns after practice yesterday. We're hammering that deal really, really hard right now. We're not letting them slip on anything, whether it be an offsides penalty or something that was holding or even could have been called holding. We're making them very accountable for that, and believe me, they're very aware of it.